So is Boyfriend completely new to singing, or is this like, just getting him used to doing it in a certain way? Obviously for us it's a tutorial, but what is the in-lore context of tutorial? Surely they aren't just doing this for the fuck of it. You get punished for choosing hard mode for literally no fucking reason. I neglected to say this in the tutorial week because I wanted to wait till week 1 to do it, but one of the things the game doesn't do is explain what's actually happening. Now I understand originally the devs were on a crunch, so they wouldn't be able to add dialogue at the time, but considering we waited several years for a new update, I think it would have been good if they had added something, you know? Even a prologue to explain the events before tutorial would have worked. Something, anything at all to tell us what's happening would be worth the while. I understand from a gameplay perspective why week 1 isn't too difficult. You just got out of the tutorial and they're trying to ease you into the gameplay a little bit more. But you can't convince me this guy, an ex-rockstar, is singing this with Boyfriend. It's a little bit sad, honestly. Cause it's meant to be a really powerful demon guy versus a 19-year-old human boy. It's, it just seems a little bit sad, doesn't it? Also, this might just be a me problem, but Daddy Dearest's legs look really fucking weird. Does he have like tights on that are going over his feet as well? Or is he meant to be wearing shoes as well? Because there's no separation between his jean tight thingies and his feet. So I'm going to assume that they're, the same object. Also, is he wearing heels? Because that's how it looks, to me at least. The decision to add beatboxing to the start of Fresh was always a bit baffling to me. Not because it's unnecessary, but because it's the only song in the story mode to do so, and in the entire game so far, actually, not including remixes. And the main issue I have with it is, and this is the actual sin, the fact that the vocals for the beatboxing are in the instrumental and not the voices file. Meaning, you can't exactly tell if there's actually instrumentation going on here, or if it's literally just these fuckers beatboxing for the first 15 seconds of the song. Regardless, that's the sin, so ding ding ding. Another thing that doesn't make sense to me is the fact that the songs have really random names. This goes for everything, and I'm probably not going to go breaking down each and every one of them, but the dad songs in particular kind of peeve me off a little bit. What the fuck is a Bop Beat Bo? Why is the second one called Fresh? And why is this one called Dad Battle? Are the other two just not dad battles? What are the other two then? What the fuck? While I could sin the game again for not introducing us to the characters properly, you do kind of need to have ball knowledge to know who these two are. Me, for example, I didn't know who these two were until I did a little bit more research in the game. That's kind of how I found out what was happening. That's another problem, is you can't distinguish who is and isn't from the game if you haven't been on the internet for a while. While the engine is fixed now, I do just want to say fuck these songs, because they were really difficult in FNF's old engine. And trust me, I have a few more songs to do this with. Who the fuck is this guy? No, but seriously, if you've never seen Spooky Month before and you go to watch it after you've played this game, you're probably expecting to see Lemon Demon, because this is the one and only weekend base game that has two opponents with their own designated songs. Week 5 is different because they're singing together, so I'm not counting that. This is the same as a villain telling the hero their plan before they have the chance to exact it. Like, why are you doing that, man? I could just stop the rap battle and go. It's just a little snack. So is your girlfriend. Let's assume everyone here is scaled accurately. Boyfriend and girlfriend are both 7 foot. That makes this guy 14 foot, which means this guy is eating his entire height in human meat and calling it a little snack. I want you to let that sink in for just a second. His entire height in human meat is a little snack. What is a meal to this man? What is a snack to this man? What? I'm gonna tear your eyes out. This line made me think, does everyone in this universe have these big black bulbous eyes and the people who have the normal realistic eyes look weird to them? Or is it the other way around? Cause what is tearing his eyes out gonna look like? Actually, don't make me think about that. Okay, so funnily enough, this line has a few things I want to say about it. So for one, what happens when he does boil girlfriend and realizes she's a demon? Does she just like get out and beat him up? What happens? Like genuinely? The other thing I want to say here is he goes fa la 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 and the charting only charts 2 laws at the end? It's kind of weird. It also does it with Boyfriend's side, but I'm less concerned about that. And now for the sins about the general song. Okay, so for one, this, Tutorial, and Winter Horrorland are the only songs in the base game to have lyrics, though I don't really count Tutorial because, it's more or less instructions than anything else. So, I won't sin it for that, but I just thought I'd tell you that because I think it's cool. Also, the sin that I actually want to point out here is the amount of fucking double notes this song has, which are so unnecessary in the charting. It makes the song feel janky, and that along with the really unnecessary hold notes in some spots make this really weird to play, honestly. I have played this song before, for the record. I'm just using someone else's gameplay because my computer won't handle me making my own gameplay for some reason. Sorry. So one thing about this week that I don't think a lot of people will remember is that Boyfriend and Pico are canonically exes. Like, these two have dated before, and I think it's canon in Pico school as well. So don't trust me on that one. I'm not too sure about that. Not a sin, you know, I just thought I'd tell you that because, you know, gay cool. Dude, you probably had prep time before this rap battle to, you know, hype yourself up and shit. Like, why are you doing this after the rap battle started? This is such a random thing to sing. Another thing that confused me about this week is why this one seems to have used, like, live recording vocals, but week 2 didn't. In what order were the songs made, and why aren't they in the order they were made? So weekend 1 implies that Pico, Darnell, and Nene were all given the task of killing Boyfriend off. You know, that would make sense, they work as a team. So where are the other two? I understand that they probably didn't have designs for them back in 2021. God, don't make me think about the earlier designs for these two. But it just doesn't make sense why they didn't re-add them. I understand it's probably so Pico would have a reason to get off the hook with not killing Boyfriend for so long, because, you know, weekend 1 has its setup and all that. It just feels like a little bit of a random decision not to have them here. Okay, now that we're with another parent of girlfriends, I can ask the question. Why is Girlfriend the only one in the family who, you know, doesn't have purple skin? The other two are purple skin, but Girlfriend just looks like a typical white girl. Why? It doesn't make sense. Does she choose to do this? Because we see in week 7 she can be purple, but, like, why? It doesn't make sense. Why can't the other two do it? Can the henchmen in the background do it? Well, actually, the henchmen are pink. I just noticed the henchmen are fucking pink. Why are they pink? What is the consistency with demon skin? There has to be some kind of legality against standing on top of a fucking limo. And the weirder part is the demon in the driver's seat clearly should be able to see. Because, you know, Mommy Mirror's is right in front of him. Also, is the limo just really far down, or are the other cars really high up? Because these things are driving at, like, Boyfriend height. And, you know, he's on top of the limo. So, which one is it? Also, what is Girlfriend on? Because she's not even on a fucking limo. We can't see a third one. You know, it just doesn't seem right. Also, why does this limo have some Daddy Dearest shit on top of it, but the other one doesn't? Where's the consistency? Also, is the driver even looking forward, or is he looking at Mommy Mirrorist? Because that grin on his face tells me something. So, oh my god, this is so fucking pathetic. You guys are going to such petty levels as to hold Santa at gunpoint in a mall because you don't want this guy dating your daughter. I understand you're demons with a lot of power, but, like, this is pathetic. Holy fucking nightmare fuel. See, he's different because he has a Santa hat on. Your skin is freezing. Let me help you take it off. Wouldn't the skin freezing make it harder to take off? Because, you know, it's making it a more of a solid object. You take a piece of your rabies and vivisect your mind. I thought this motherfucker said take a piece of your anus and not take a piece of your rabies. This line is delivered in such a weird way. This is my prime justification for asking for dialogue in prior weeks now. Not only does base game have the capabilities of having dialogue in it, this is my justification. I get that this one has dialogue because it's based off of a dating sim, and dating sims have a lot of that, but trust me, it would do us wonders to have dialogue in the prior weeks, even if it's goofy shit, as long as it explains what's happening. Please. Friendly reminder, this jackass speaks in beeps and boops on purpose. He could totally speak English if he wanted to, as proved by adverts, which I do believe are canon, so, you know, fun fact. Boyfriend beeped and booped so hard at this motherfucker, he turned purple and not red. He is seething with rage so much, he's purple. Also, Senpai is a petty fucking bitch. He threatens to rip Boyfriend's nuts off because he sang at him. A rap battle, mind you, Senpai started. What the fuck even happened here? Like, obviously it's the spirit coming out of Senpai's body, but, like, what actually happened? Whilst I can thank this week for giving us the week 6 format and most FNF mods even to date, I do have to send it for creating the everyone hates the dearest cliche. All the others? Are the background girls conscious as well? If so, why aren't they in the background? I don't think that's how that works. There's only one of you right now. Why would you need both of their bodies? Also, how is that Veron boyfriend? He had nothing to do with this.
Well, 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 what do we got here? We should just kill you, but what the hell, it's been a boring day. Let's see what you got.
This man had such a boring day on the warfield that he decided to rap battle with a teenager. Ignoring the fact that like 2 or 3 of those notes just didn't function in the gameplay, he goes ugh twice more and then there's no notes for it. Why?
Pretty tight bars for a little dude who's simping over an ugly, boring little teenager that wears her mom's clothes.
Not only does this imply that Tank Man knows Mommy Dearest and Daddy Dearest, it also implies that he knows what girlfriend is wearing. Gross.
God effing damn it.
Oh my god, just say fuck.
Sorry, no problem for you this year.
This frame.
Look who it is, your sexually ambiguous, angry little friend. Don't you have a school to shoot up?
I'm going to assume that was a homophobic joke, and also no, he doesn't have a school to shoot up. He's 19.
There's one way to settle this. Let's rock, you little cunt.
Oh, so you just chose not to say fuck. Not only that, but he says it again a second later. This game has a naughtiness filter just for this. Jeez. I'm going to avoid calling Nene a bad bitch to say that she's walking around in public with a knife and no one's calling the police on her. Why does Pico need to recap what's happened so far? We all know what's happened. You should have played the entire game before you get to weekend 1. Tank Man is now canonically dead in FNF. Let that sink in. So not only are you carrying around 1 knife with you in public, you're carrying around at least 5. Why? How is no one calling the police on you, and where are you storing these? Did the boombox appear out of nowhere? You were looking outside of the alley when you walked out, how did you not see it? More so, how did you run into it? Did these two plan to have Pico come here? Did Nene chase him here specifically, or did she not know he was there and it just kind of conveniently led to this? This motherfucker is about to engage in a rap battle, the very thing that cost them their paycheck last time, and Nene is just kind of sitting there and letting it happen.
3, 2, 1.
The thing I really like about this week is it's completely anatonal based. For those of you who don't know, a chromatic scale is what's usually used with the characters. Basically, it's a note for every pitch, going up from the lowest to the highest. However, this week uses anatonals, which are similar, I guess. There are a bunch of sounds that are used, and they're placed in a certain order to make more sound. It's not pitched like normal, so you just kind of have to rely on being in key at all. If at all, I guess. Oh, I just thought I'd point that out because I thought it was cool. I'm not a big music guy, but I know some things. You really want me to believe that both of them ran out of ammo at the same time? Do you really want me to believe that Pico doesn't have any spare bullets in his back pocket? That Darnell doesn't have a second lighter on him? Why is Nene the most prepared out of all 3 of you, and she is the only one that doesn't use a firearm of any kind? See, the funny thing is that Darnell literally uses fire, that's why I said firearm. Remember earlier when I said this week is entirely comprised of anatonal songs? When I said that, I kind of glossed over Blazin' because it doesn't really count in the same fashion. It doesn't use vocals at all, which is really interesting to me because it's the only FNF song in base game to do so. So, you know, props to this song, I guess. I'm not removing a sin because that would be unnecessary, but, you know, props to this song. Not mentioning the fact that they just kind of slid into frame here, that must have been the best dap up ever because it completely healed their injuries. The fuck? I can't lie, Nanny. I would be angry as well if my best friend just wasted my chance of getting millions of dollars just because he wanted to be gay for a second. And then my other best friend forgave him. Oh, and one more sin before the video ends. I totally forgot to mention this, but none of the weeks are in order in this game. Maybe one or two of them are. I know week 7 and weekend 1 are, but that's about it.